Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Yesterday we got a brand new TV spot for Ahsoka. We got two of them, like, back to back, honestly. But yeah. I want to focus in on the second one. The one that was highlighting the master and apprentice relationships throughout Star Wars. It was interesting how they kind of went through a whole bunch when we started with Luke and Grogu.
I know, that was the
They
oddest.
had a very, like,
They had like 2 days, I think.
2-minute relationship.
That counts.
Yeah, we saw Obi and Anakin. We saw
Obi and Luke.
Yep. We also saw Qui-Gon and Obi.
Yep. The OG team.
Yeah, all that good stuff. And we saw Luke and Yoda.
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. And we saw Anakin and Ahsoka.
We had a little clip of Leia in there, too.
And then, did we?
Yeah, I think this one had a little clip of Leia.
Huh. I remember it concluded with kind of Ahsoka and Sabine. Kind of, you can see the lineage, how it kind of goes on.
I'm curious if they're trying to make people happy about the sequels, because there was, like, a lot of sequel footage.
Was there a lot?
Well, we even had Palpatine from...
Oh, yeah. I kind of block that out sometimes.
you just don't see it.
Yeah, they had some quotes from the sequels, actually, didn't they? They had they had actually my favorite quote from the sequels.
They had Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. You know, there's another master-apprentice relationship.
It is. It definitely is. Mm-hmm. No, but my favorite quote from the sequels is "Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi." Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good quote, actually.
We even showed Balon and Hattie.
They did, yeah. Well, they are master and apprentice as well.
And Shin, yeah.
No, you're right. They did have, in looking back now, they had quite a bit of sequel stuff in there, too.
Yeah, they did.
I mean...
It's like they're trying to, like, sneak it into stuff that they think you'll like, to be like, oh, remember this happened?
I know, because it's really cool, and you're like, oh, this is really nice, and it's like, oh, no, sequel
No,
stuff.
wait, what is that? Garbage.
Well, no, it is what it is.
But it was also interesting because, when the first time they said master, they showed Anakin, then apprentice, and they showed Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
No, it was good. It was well done. Gets the blood flowing, gets you the tingles or whatever.
And it also showed, in the same relationship scheme, Ahsoka and Sabine.
Yeah, that's what I said. It kind of implied they're really pushing this thing, aren't they?
They're pushing it, but I don't know if I like what they're implying, because every master and apprentice relationship they showed was a force relationship.
Yeah. Sounds like forced, really. You have to train him.
But you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
They were all relationships involving either Jedi or Sith, whereas Sabine and Ahsoka's relationship...
Neither is a Jedi or a Sith.
Well, Sabine especially, she went through 4 seasons of Rebels. She lived with 2 Jedi and did not have Force powers.
No, she got some saber training with the Darksaber from both Kanan and Ezra, but they didn't seem to notice anything Force affinity with her.
Right, and I feel bad because I feel like the casual fans are watching this like, oh my gosh.
She's going to be trained. Yeah, well,
she's
got a lightsaber, too.
Look at her, Jedi, but it's just like they did with Finn. When they showed him with the lightsaber in the Force Awakens trailer, everyone's like, yes! And then it's like, oh no, he was just borrowing that.
Briefly.
Briefly.
Yes, very briefly.
So I don't think I like that they're doing that. Either I'm going to be angry that they're like, no, she really does have Force powers now, or I'm going to be angry because it's kind of like a bait and switch that they've been pulling on people.
Yeah, because people are going to be really confused when she has no Force abilities at all, and others, if you're a fan, you're going to be like, wait a second, we've seen Sabine, she didn't have Force powers, so you're telling us they kind of started manifesting later, or Kanan and Ezra didn't sense anything?
Yet they usually grab Force children as children.
Sure. It's kind of their speciality, abducting children.
So they can identify them. We've not really heard cases of somebody developing Force powers later in life.
No.
They've always had them.
Yeah, we've heard of the opposite. We know, of course, the Chiss have their Skywalkers, which is a coincidental name, but they kind of lose their Force powers as they get older, as they hit puberty, basically. So it's weird to go the other way. I don't know that I can't think of an example off the top of my head of somebody who discovered like later in life. Not that she's old.
I think I'm going to be angry though if all of a sudden they're like, yeah, look, she's got Force powers now, and I'll be sitting here questioning Rebels now the whole time. Are we retconning your own work, Filoni? No, she had Force powers the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people would be like, well, Luke didn't really show powers until, he started to train. But I'm sure Luke had...
But they knew.
Yeah, and I'm sure Owen and Beru... trying to keep anything that strange happened to him on the down low. You're like, it's just coincidence, Luke. You just hovered or floated that rock. Well, and even though he couldn't do that with a lightsaber.
Well, he might have just never reached out to do something like that. Well, yeah.
Well, you look at Anakin, right? He's a good pod racer. He has really good reflexes. He didn't really try to do anything else.
Well,
right?
Leia made it how long in life without using her powers openly? Even though she did in like the Princess of Alderaan book and stuff.
Yeah, she had her moment.
She did have a moment, where she trusted her instincts and the Force kind of gave her a little, here you go.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be for people who don't train. You just, every now and then, kind of luck is on your side, or you have a moment of clarity or whatever.
Luke could have had that when he was,
Yeah, absolutely. We don't see every moment.
Bullseye and the Wompats.
Exactly. We do actually have a hint.
Something difficult to do, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The fact that he's like, I'm a great pilot.
Yeah, I bullseye Womprats. Oh, yeah, jeez, Luke. They're no bigger than 2 meters, but... But no, I think it's going to be strange if she turns out to be Force sensitive.
And
there was
the way they're selling it, if they don't, it's a bait and switch to the audience who don't know the character.
Yeah. Well, plus it might be... I mean, there's probably Sabine fans who are like, oh, it's going to be so awesome. Sabine's Force sensitive now, and no, she's just training with a lightsaber.
No, she's just got a lightsaber.
Which is cool, sure.
They're just doing things in a very weird fashion that I don't feel like has any payoff. I think it's a road to disappointment.
Well, it's a road to confusion, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
Another bit of news came out as well. Cryptic from Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, Instagram, whatever platforms he's all on.
It'll always be Twitter.
You usually can manage to find the runtimes of things before they happen. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, Cryptic HD Quality has now stated the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka together have a runtime of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 36 seconds.
So about 45, 46, 47 minutes each.
Which aligns with what Filoni said, being about the length of Mando, if not a little bit longer.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's like getting a movie.
I want longer!
It's like getting a 90-minute movie. I'm fine with that.
Right off the bat, yeah. That's always good. Hopefully they can keep that 45-minute runtime and not...
Give us those 30-minuters. Yeah.
The 30, which are like 25s.
Yeah, when you take out all the credits. It's going to be curious to see how much of what we've seen in the trailers and the commercials is actually in these first 2 episodes. Because they've had a habit, which I like, don't get me wrong, they have had a habit of kind of front-loading stuff, right? That we only see stuff early in the season, so.
Right.
I do hope that continues here. I hope we're kind of only seeing the first, 2 episodes and, the splashes of elsewhere.
In our last thing, we're going to dive into the rumor mill a little bit, so this is going to be our last article. If you want to stay away from anything that is a potential spoiler, now is the time to say goodbye. But we're going to go back to a report that came out in December, where Making Star Wars was saying that they had info about a scene that was shot featuring Hayden Christensen in his Revenge of the Sith robes, that he was training for a fight scene between Anakin and Ahsoka on Mustafar.
Don't recall her originally being there, but yeah, okay.
The Ahsoka Tano featured in the scene itself was a younger Ahsoka, fitting in more with the timeline, and that there was a younger actress used for the shoot. The scene itself was supposedly supposed to be seen from the world between worlds type thing, we're seeing a possibility or something that could have been had Ahsoka been there. There's rumors going around that part of the theming and part of Ahsoka's quest throughout this isn't just finding Ezra, but possibly looking for redemption, feeling that she failed her master, thinking, if I wouldn't have left, if I would have been there, would Anakin have fallen to the dark side?
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did.
Aww.
It's actually a solid line. I say what you will about the rest of Kenobi, but I don't mind that line. I think it's a good way to convince Kenobi that, yep, I didn't do it.
I mean, the scene is meant to kind of show Ahsoka that Anakin falling to the dark side is part of his destiny and that there's nothing she could do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it was his destiny. We can get into a big debate about what Anakin's destiny actually was.
Or at least the fact that she could not change this.
No, she couldn't change what he had started, the road the path he had gone down. Mm-hmm. She's not going to divert him from becoming Vader at that point.
Kind of telling her that she's got to embrace it, that no matter how hard and painful it is, she's got to stop blaming herself too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, 8 months since we originally heard that, Making Star Wars has now expanded on this scene that supposedly will be in the new show. They added that there's a dead Obi-Wan in the scenes, and that it was shot 2 ways. First they had an Obi-Wan, first they had a Kenobi corpse, which was a dummy.
They didn't get you into lay on the sandy beach of
they might just be a placeholder for CGI and him in there. First they had a scene where they had a dummy laying on the ground, there's Kenobi, he was killed by Anakin, and then Ahsoka's gonna fight him next, I guess.
Okay.
And then the second scene was literally just a pile of clothes, similar to his ending in A New Hope.
Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah, he wouldn't have no idea how to, unless it's just some kind of vision
They had a couple of ideas there, what they wanted to go with, I guess.
Don't do the close pal.
No.
We've already messed up Force Ghost enough in the new canon.
Honestly, it doesn't work because he hasn't learned how to become a Force Ghost yet.
No, he wouldn't even had Yoda tell him he needs to train, and that Qui-Gon's going to kind of give him a call, and we're going to start training to be a Force Ghost. That happens
no pile of clothes. That's bad.
No pile of clothes, please.
We're okay with dead Obi-Wan.
Fine.
But no pile of clothes. Yeah. Jedi don't all just disappear in a puff of smoke when they die.
No, they don't. No, that was originally the assumption, is that they all just kind of fade away. I mean, we didn't know any better, right? Back in the days of Star Wars, when there was no A New Hope, it was just Star Wars.
Like, what happens to a Jedi in the night? Well, they turn into glitter, I guess? I don't know.
They poof of glitter.
They're gone. No, we know better now.
We do. It's only in a special few.
So if this scene does take place, hopefully they didn't go with the really messy canon-breaking one.
No. I hope they call you in and be like, you want to be in the Ahsoka series?
We just want you to lay on the ground.
We want you to just lay there and don't move.
Yes, because the scene will probably start with Ahsoka like, oh no, you killed Obi-Wan. He was your brother, Anakin.
They just might.
Yeah, but that's what we got for the news.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I am curious to see if this is true, like what it is kind of implying. I think you're right. Yes. I think it's kind of implying that Ahsoka needs to realize she could have never saved Anakin. But I think she already kind of knew that.
She needs to overcome.
Yeah, but I think she kind of knew that after Rebels, right? I thought that was kind of like the point of that scene in Rebels was like, yeah, she gets it. Like there was no saving Anakin. But I guess lingering guilt, right?
Well, it gives her a deeper character arc for the TV show if she's holding on to this grudge and having a lot of trouble reconciling the relationship between her and Anakin. Especially when she's like, I left Anakin, like I left Sabine, showing that she's harboring some guilt.
And it is a way to bring the Anakin relationship into the show for those who don't know about it, to have her still affected by it. So, I guess it makes sense.
So we're okay with this.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, right? Could all be a rumor. But for now, that's all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. What do you think about Ahsoka versus Anakin on Mustafar? Or talk about any of the other topics we brought up. Whatever you choose to do, leave a comment below, and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.